Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mike, and today we're diving into a question a lot of Americans living overseas, especially here in the Philippines, have been asking. Will the Social Security Administration ever adjust benefits lower for Americans living in lower cost of living countries? I'll get into answering that question, plus I'm going to look at a few other things that could go wrong for Americans should they choose to call the Philippines home. So let's talk about it. So the first thing that could go wrong here in the Philippines for Americans is that their Social Security benefits could get reduced to match the lower cost of living. And when you think about it, it seems reasonable that that could happen someday. The US is in a financial crunch, and they're always looking at ways to how they can restructure the way SSA pays out benefits. With that being said, a lot of people think that Social Security looks at where you live, how expensive your life is, or what country you retire to. But that's not how SSA calculates anything. Social Security benefits are based only on your U.S. earnings history. The formula uses your 35 highest earning years, adjusts those based on wage growth in the U.S., and then gives you your benefit amount when you retire. After that, the only adjustment that they make every year is the COLA, cost of living adjustment. And here's the key part. It's based only on U.S. inflation. SSA does not consider the cost of living in the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Mexico, or anywhere else. SSA doesn't adjust for location. A lot of people wonder, well, why not? If someone lives in Manila where life is cheaper, shouldn't their benefit be different? Here's the reality. There is no legal mechanism for SSA to do that. Zero. The Social Security Act does not give them the authority to raise or lower benefits based on where you live. The U.S. does not operate on a purchasing power parity system the way that a few European countries do. Your benefit is your benefit, no matter where you take it, which is good news for a lot of retirees wanting to come to the Philippines or Thailand and retire in tropical paradise. Now, even if the government wanted to adjust Social Security by location, it would be political suicide. Imagine telling American retirees that their benefits are being cut because they moved someplace cheaper. Or telling New Yorkers and Californians that they deserve extra money because their states are expensive. The backlash would be insane. Veterans groups would explode. Florida retirees would lose their minds. Congress knows this, so they don't touch it. If they won't adjust benefits within the United States, then they definitely won't adjust them for Americans who are living abroad. So what does this mean for Americans living here in the Philippines or anywhere that is overseas? Your benefit amount will stay the same. Your COLA will stay the same. Where you choose to live has zero impact on your Social Security check. You'll get the same amount whether you lived in New York City, rural Texas, or Davao City. So there you have it. SSA is not going to adjust your benefits based on the cost of living in another country, and honestly, that policy is here to stay. So there's a box that you can check as an advantage to living in the Philippines and not something to worry about going wrong. So now let's talk about a few things that could go wrong, unlike Social Security lowering payments. One of the biggest mistakes Americans make is assuming the Philippines is automatically cheap. Yes, if you want to live like a local, the cost of living can be low. But many foreigners don't actually want a local lifestyle. They want Western comfort at Filipino prices. And that's where the trouble begins. If you want fast, reliable internet, a Western-style apartment or house, imported food, a generator backup, air conditioning running all day, Western hospitals when something goes wrong with your health. Electricity here is much higher than in the US. Internet can be unreliable depending on the area. Rent varies wildly, and imported foods, cheese, beef, cereal, snacks can easily cost double or triple than what you're used to. And here's the kicker. Many foreigners budget based on what other YouTubers say. They don't realize that some YouTubers hide their real expenses just for clicks. Some have sponsorships or free accommodations. Some live very minimalistic lifestyles, and others leave out the high-cost surprises. If you move here expecting to live at American standards for $900 a month, you will be shocked. Some foreigners end up returning back home because their retirement budget just didn't stretch the way that they had expected. Do your research, not fantasy research, real research. Legal and immigration issues can blindside you. Another big one, immigration rules and legal issues. Many Americans come here assuming they can just stay indefinitely without thinking through visas, extensions, or the potential problems that can arise if you overstay or misunderstand the rules. Yes, the Philippines is relaxed compared to many countries, but it's not a free-for-all. You need to know how long your tourist visa allows you to stay, when and where to extend, how much it costs, because visa extensions are not free, travel requirements for long-term stayers, rules about working. Most Americans cannot legally work here without proper permits. The consequences of overstaying. Some foreigners overstay for years thinking they can just fix it later. And sure, you can fix it by paying a huge fine, facing questioning, and possibly being blacklisted. Then there are legal issues that foreigners don't think about. Property ownership restrictions, relationship laws, like Republic Act 9262. In a previous video, I talked all about RA 9262. Child support obligations, marriage laws, the fact that divorce isn't available here in the Philippines. If you enter into a relationship or make financial decisions without understanding Filipino law, you can get caught in a situation that becomes expensive, stressful, or even dangerous for your life here. A lot of this can be avoided with research, but many people skip that part. Now let's get into healthcare and insurance misconceptions. The third thing that can blindside Americans here is, and it's a big one, is healthcare. Many assume that just because the cost of living is lower, medical care must also be cheaper and good quality everywhere. But that isn't always the case. While routine care can be affordable and surprisingly good, serious medical issues can be a challenge. Rural and provincial hospitals may not have the equipment, specialists, or medications that you need. Many Americans end up traveling to Manila, Cebu, or Davao for serious treatment. And here's where the real problem hits: insurance. Some foreigners move here with no health insurance, the wrong kind of health insurance, a plan that doesn't cover international hospitals, a plan with massive deductions, or Medicare, which does not work here. When a heart attack happens, a stroke, a motorcycle accident, a serious infection, suddenly they're faced with hospital bills that must be paid, usually before you're allowed to leave the hospital. Many foreigners create GoFundMe pages. Others drain their savings. Some can't even afford the care that they need at all. Healthcare can make or break your life here, and too many retirees don't research their insurance options. So those are the three big things that can negatively affect Americans living in the Philippines if they don't do their homework. Of course, needing to worry about those SSA benefits getting reduced isn't a concern. Real concerns are cost of living, legal and immigration issues, and health care. The Philippines is an amazing place to live, if you're prepared. But if you come here blindly, these three issues can turn your dream retirement into a nightmare. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already done so, please like, subscribe, and click or tap that bell notification. Then you can catch my next video. God bless and peace out.